everybody, and welcome. And joining me today is the author of Take a Big Breath, and this is a fantastic book written by Shauna Gallagher. How are you, Shauna?
I'm very well, thanks, Ocean.
Thank you so much for coming up and having a chat to me about the book and about the journey.
Thank you for having me.
I've got a few questions for you. Who is Shauna? What's your background?
Wow, my background is I grew up in North Queensland, so I lived in Townsville for almost 33 years. I was the third child of 4 children and had 2 older brothers and a younger sister. I grew up learning ballroom dancing for 10 years, so yeah, I love my dancing still to this day. So not necessarily ballroom, but I just like dancing. So.
I never knew that.
Yeah, so...
All right, there's something. See, you learn something new with these authors every time.
Yeah,
it's
that's
fantastic.
right. So, so that was my childhood. I grew up in a happy family. Yeah, so... then when I was 20, I married my husband, and we just celebrated our 30th anniversary this year. We have 4 young adult children and 1 grandchild now so far, so looking forward to more.
Cheers.
Yeah. Professionally, when I left school, I worked in admin jobs, just in office work, and mainly did that until I started having a family. Did a little bit when I had children, but my last couple of years before all my children were at school, I did family daycare, and then I studied nursing. So for the last 7 years, I've been a registered nurse.
Wow.
And most of that's been in mental health nursing.
Which I guess would have given you a bit of insight into preparing the book, which we'll get to now. What is this book about?
Basically, it's 20 relaxation exercises for children, but written in a light Christian context.
Where did it come from? Where did the idea come from?
Well, because I'm a mental health nurse and I work on a mental health unit with adult clients, I was educating them in cognitive behavioural therapy and doing relaxation exercises with them. And I started to think, with being a Christian myself, that a bit more faith-based stuff would be ideal for those with a faith base to their life. And I started to think about writing relaxation exercises in that context. And then a couple of months after that thought process started, our daughter said that she was expecting our first grandchild. And then I started to think, wow, what if our grandchild has anxiety? Because 7% of children aged 4 to 11 are diagnosed with an anxiety disorder. So I thought, what would my daughter do? And so I wanted to write something suitable for parents particularly, but then also teachers and carers, other carers, to teach strategies to the children.
What a fantastic idea. And what did you learn from doing this, from writing these down, and what did you learn anything from that process?
I learned about patience, needing to not be such a perfectionist in the initial writing stages. I was trying to make it all right the first time I put words to paper, and I had to learn, just get the thoughts out there, get them down. You can always fix it up later.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
That's right. And what about the feedback? I mean, what have you heard from those that have purchased and used the book?
Yeah, they've really loved the exercises. They said the children have really enjoyed it. My nephew has just been so excited every night. His mother has to do the exercise with him, or he just can't go to bed. He just loves that his auntie's written a book and enjoys the exercise. But no, other people too have just really encouraged me with the content, that they've really appreciated it for their children and that it's helped them calm down.
So you did very well with pre-sale, and pre-sale is all about letting people know that the book's available before they're here. And when you look at the network of people that purchased the book before it arrived, would you find that the majority of them had young children that had issues with this? What was the demographic of those people? Yes,
in the pre-sale, was quite a few I hooked up with through social media. They did have, some of the children did have actual anxiety issues, but others were just people who wanted to help their children get off to sleep easier, because the struggles of putting children to bed and they need that drink of water and
Look, my kids are all grown, I still have that issues.
Yeah.
How? That's fantastic that you've got that sort of result. And I think that's the simplicity of it, is that it's not necessarily for children that have been diagnosed with anxiety or any medical condition, but just to chill out, relax and go to sleep.
Yeah.
So that's a very powerful thing. So looking at that in our target market, is that our target market? Is there anything else? Are we missing there?
No, well, it's also aimed for teachers as well, of those early years. 3 to 7 is the age group I've written it for, but it can be used for older children as well. But it's great for just calming any child down that needs coming down. Think about when you first arrive at school. What's gone on at home before? You know, mum and dad might be rushing off to work as well, or dropping children at daycare as well, and they're just so wound up. They've forgotten their book, or they've, you know, different things that go on. Kids are quite wound up by the time they get to school, so it's a really good tool for teachers to use at the start of the day as well, just to calm the children down. Because if you turn down the anxiety or the stress that's gone on, you can learn better.
Absolutely, and I think also mums, you know, like toughest job in the world, biggest respect for fierce loving mothers, and this book is a bit of a saviour for them, isn't it?
Yes. So teachers, parents, carers of any description can use this book for any child.
Now, what's next for you as a writer? What's coming up on the horizon?
Well, I have plans for about another 4 books, but the very next thing I'm working on at the moment is the relaxation exercises for teenagers, particularly high school teenagers, rather than 18, 19-year-olds, just those at school. So the stress that goes on in high school, the pressure with exams, peer pressure, career choices, there's just so much in that tumultuous teenage years at the best of times. And so I'm aiming to write some lightly Christian contexted relaxation exercises for teenagers as well.
That's such a good idea, and I think, you know, you're identifying core areas of where young people are struggling, and how to, again, simplify it from a mindset point of view. And these have been fantastically well received, which we've identified. The biggest thing for me is the illustrations too.
Yeah, they're beautiful.
They just articulate it really, really well, and they're all unique to the exercises that you've created in here, which is awesome. Okay, well look, Shauna, I've got one more question for you that's not on the list.
Okay.
All right, well we all know that I'm a bit of a fan of the old superhero. Okay, I think everybody's got a superhero in them, or qualities of a superhero, especially in this creative biz. If you could choose a superhero or a quality of a superhero, like superpowers, what would you choose and why?
Okay. This is a put you on the spot type of question, isn't it?
Yes, it is. That's why I love doing it.
Okay.
So who's the superhero and why?
Well, can I have 2?
You may.
All right. From a faith-based perspective, Jesus is my superhero.
Good answer.
Yeah. But from a Superman type superhero, that would be you, Ocean.
Oh.
You're the only Superman I know.
Well, you know, that's true. Okay, no, thank you for that, though. I appreciate that. And I think that one of the things that I've embraced that superhero quality, you know, because I do believe we've all got it, is just that perseverance to follow through with our dreams. And I think, you know, superheroes don't have any limits, and they're unstoppable, and I believe creative people are the same. And you've certainly proved it with Take a Big Breath.
Been a wonderful journey.
It has. And Shauna, I want to thank you so much for coming and speaking to me today. I really appreciate it.
And thank you. I've really appreciated it.
And for you guys that want to get a copy of Take a Big Breath, that's the website on the bottom of the screen. Go and check it out and get yourself a copy now. Cheers.